Well, what about Joseph in prison? That was pretty bad. God was doing something in him. We don't have to know about it. We read about it, but we know that God had not thwarted his plan, his purpose, and all of Joseph's times and seasons were in his hands, and he would live to see his brothers bow down before him as his dream depicted, and he was going to be the head and not the tail. He was not going to be in the pit. He was going to be in the palace. He was not going to be in a place of shame, but he was in a place of promotion. And he was in a place of power, in a place of authority, and he did not abuse that. He could have taken that authority, and he could have, there's no record in the Bible that he put Potiphar in prison. There's no record. We don't know if it happened or not, but he didn't have that in his heart. He didn't have evil in his heart. He didn't have that get even spirit that I'll show you. When I get to that point where I am the authority, when I have the power, when I have the position, when I have the promotion, when I have everything on my side and I'm above it all, and I can command, I can do whatever I want. All of my enemies can go in prison. All of those that didn't believe in me, well, you can have this little corner of the world, but I'll feed you, but you're going to have bread of affliction. I'll take care of you, but you're going to suffer for a while. I suffered these years in prison. Now you're going to suffer a little while. I'll take care of you, but you know what? I am the head, you're the tail. I'm the rejected, so I'm going to reject you. He didn't do that. He hugged their necks. He wept on them. The ones that oppressed him, the ones that rejected him, the ones that threatened his life, the ones that threw him in the pit, the ones that sold him into bondage, the ones that ripped off that coat of authority and distinction from him, lied about it, deceived their father, said he's dead. This is what we found. Yeah, they did it. And yet, he was able to forgive. He was able to forgive the hardness. He was able to forgive the betrayal. He was able to forgive the deceit. He was able to forgive the rejection. He was not able to live in bitterness and anger and retaliation. So perhaps the years of being in bondage, we're not saying this, it could have caused him to reject bitterness, to reject those things that he could have used in a powerful, negative way. And used that power and that position and that authority to do good, to fulfill the purpose of God. And what is the purpose of God? So that you feel good? No, so that you are not only good, but that you do good. And that good is not for your own sake. You should not be in the ministry to have $1 million mansion. You should not be there to be able to tip $50 for a $20 meal. God did not raise you up to flaunt it. He did not raise you up to be better than somebody else. He raised you up to be good, to do good. To use the things that he's given you, the power, the authority, the prosperity, the ability, the position to do good works, not to have a big head, but to have a big heart. All of us. So we don't flaunt the things of God. We don't merchandise the gifts of God. He said, freely you've received, freely give. And that is everything. Don't just look at the 9 gifts of the Spirit. Don't forget about the gift of helps. Don't forget about anointing for everything he's called and equipped and empowered you to do for him. If it's a cup of cold water, you don't need to brag about doing it. You know, who gave you the water? Who gave you the hand? Who gave you the ability and who gave you the heart to do it? Who gave you the little nudge? Go give them a cup of cold water.